And welcome back, everybody, to MotorMaster Monday. It is MotorMaster main event time here at Kentucky Speedway. We are live for round 21 of the NASCAR MotorMaster Series here for the 2021 calendar year on NASCAR Heat 5, and it is the Horsepower 300 at Kentucky Speedway. You're watching Matt Smith in the 10 lead the race here. He's the pole sitter. He's got Jesse Carlson in the 20 right behind him, as well as Josh Colin-Diaz in the 7 car running in third. We've been green since the start of this race. These drivers are working stage 1 of a 100-lap race here at Kentucky Speedway. Strap yourselves in. We're bringing you live flag-to-flag coverage of the Horsepower 300. It's main event time here for MotorMaster Monday. I am NOSSCAR CEO Tyler McMurder, alongside 2 in-race reporters, Alex Tesdahl, driver of the 16, Cameron Norton, driver of the 1. And thanks a bunch to both of you for doing this.
No problem.
Throwing it down to the in-race reporter, one of them anyways, Alex Tesdahl in the 16. You're coming off a top 10 earlier tonight at Gateway. How's the car feeling early in the going here at Kentucky?
So far it's feeling pretty good.
And it's looking pretty good too. We're watching a good battle here, but oh, and around goes Jordan Dorsett. He got help. I think he found the apron right in front of Brett Baker in the 21, who had nowhere to go and ran into the back of the 74. And there's Jordan Dorsett, parked and now getting back up to speed on the back straightaway. A little bit of front end damage to the number 74 Chevy Camaro, but if he's going to have a problem like this, better to have it early in the race in stage 1. And remember, folks, he's got 5 wins this season, comes into this race second in the point standings, so if anyone can bounce back, it's him. Good battles all over this racetrack. Jordan Roughton in the 18, Jason Doro in the 08, coming off a big win earlier tonight at Gateway, and it's Dustin Franklin in the 11, Nick Don Francesco in the 6, Trey Hollywood in the 8. They're all right there. Some paint has been traded between some of these drivers, and a wild start to the Horsepower 300. We're all chasing Matt Smith, and no change for the lead up front. Can let you know Brett Baker has fallen out of the top 3 here. Oh, Jesse Carlson running in second in the 20, found the outside wall coming out of turn 4. And he's going through the grass on the front stretch. Landshark's going to take third. Brett Baker's going to take fourth. Cameron Norton in the 1 going to try to take 5th. Jesse's coming back up to speed. There was contact made between the 2.
He's around.
And he's around again, yes, at the exit of 2. Oh, and Trey Hollywood in the 8 car had problems in turn 1. Had nowhere to go. Didn't know that the 20 car was waiting on the other side of that inside wall, and contact was made between those 2.
Guess we're still green.
I guess so, and wow, what a wild start to the race it's been. Matt Smith leads with Josh Colin-Diaz running in second, and they're really spread out amongst the top 3 now at this point. It's Landshark running in third, Brett Baker in 4th, Cameron Norton rounding out the top 5. Here's a battle inside the top 10. Dustin Franklin has worked his way away from this hornet's nest, and it's Jordan Roughton, Nick Don Francesco, Robbie Racing, Jason Doro, and Harold Burden all in this group of cars trying to work their way further inside of the top 10. And they're all trying to reel in Cameron Norton and Alex Tesdahl that are not too far in front of these guys. And this is heading into 3 now. And a lot of different lines being used here at Kentucky, and some of these drivers gluing those left sides on the yellow line through the turns, and others taking a higher approach, climbing the corner and running the middle groove. To the bottom of Cameron Norton goes Alex Tesdahl, but thinks better of it. He's going to tuck back in line. This is the battle for 5th and 6th on the racetrack. The 2 in-race reporters having a good time out there. And again, folks, this is stage 1 of round 21. the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Top 5 get the stage points, and they're trying to reel in these two drivers right here. This is what the battle for 3rd and 4th looks like. Landshark of the 36 car trying to keep Brett Baker in the 21 behind him, and two very different paths here in NASCAR for these two. Brett in the 21, of course, a former NASCAR champion on the NASCAR 15 game. I'm back on the PlayStation 3 console. And Landshark, a newcomer here in NASCAR, still looking for that first career NASCAR win, and he's already got a couple of top 5 finishes on his resume. Cameron Norton has now worked his way around Alex Tesdall for the 5th position and driving away just by a couple of car lengths. And Alex runs in 6th, but he's got his teammate Dustin Franklin in that 11 car in 7th, gaining ground on him. And of course, Dustin Franklin still looking for his first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. He's come close on a number of occasions. There you see him, and he's running strong so far here in Stage 1, up in the top 10. Robbie Racing in the 4, runs in 8th, just behind him, the lone driver out of Great Britain here, looking for his first career win in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series as well. Jordan Roughton runs in 9th. Harold Burden rounds out the top 10. And word has it from our in-race reporter, Cameron Norton, we have 5 laps to go here in Stage 1. We've been lean, mean, clean, and green since the drop of the green flag in this one, and I really did not know what to expect when you have a 23-car field at Kentucky Speedway, and anything can happen. The draft is strong. We know that these drivers are going to get good runs on each other. There's a lot of different grooves you can use here, Kentucky, to get some speed in these corners. We know the restarts are going to be wild, and it's going to be interesting to see what the start of Stage 2 looks like. And now it's Matt Smith in the lead. Josh Coldiez in 2nd, Landshark in 3rd, Brett Baker in 4th, and we're going to see what the battle for 5th on back looks like, and here it is for the final stage point here in Stage 1. Oh, Alex Tesdall looking to the inside of Cameron Norton. There's about 6 cars here with a shot to get a stage point, and they're all looking pretty hungry and racy for it at this point. Cameron Norton takes the 5th position back, but he finds the outside wall coming out of turn 2, and that allows Alex Tesdall to reel him right back in and look to the inside. This is through 3 and 4. Robbie Racing right behind him, and it's getting a push from Dustin Franklin in the 11. Down below the yellow went Alex in the 16. That is legal here at Kentucky. He's looking for that 5th position, and he's going to do it. He's going to clear him. This is in 1 and 2. Oh, man. Robbie Racing looking for 6th position there from Cameron Norton, Dustin Franklin, Harold Burden, Nick Don Francesco. They're all trying to capitalize on Cameron being stuck up on the outside line, but then again, you can find some speed up there. 3 laps to go in Stage 1.
Final lap.
Oh, jeez. Final lap in Stage 1. Checking in on your race leader. There he is, folks. 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith. Broke a lot of records last year in the Cup Series, and it's the current points leader here in MotorMaster, and he's looking strong here again at Kentucky Speedway. He wins Stage 1. Ryan Trek in the 19. He was involved in one of the incidents earlier in this stage that did not draw a caution, and he's going to save himself and stay on the lead lap here. He was able to keep his car in front of the 10. And we're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter, Cameron Norton, to get the top 5 from Stage 1.
Flash 9, NASCAR King, Landshark, Brett Baker, and Shadow.
Wild battle there for the stage points. And good job by Shadow to get that 5th spot for the final stage point. And how was the battle from your perspective, Shadow? What do you think we're going to see in Stage 2?
It was some intense battle, and I expect to see more of it.
Well, these drivers have an opportunity now to make pit stops under under caution. Nobody has been to pit road yet. These drivers driving the Xfinity cars with the preset sliders, so any chance they get when a caution comes out, they usually dive to pit road to make some key adjustments to these cars, and this is the first chance they'll get the chance to do that. Now they are double file coming into the restart zone, and we're green for stage 2 of the Horsepower 300 at Kentucky Speedway. 23 drivers thunder into turn 1. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 car is going to take the lead away using the bottom line, and now they are 3 wide for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Oh, they fanned back out to single file just before they got into turn 3. And to the inside goes the 10 car, looking to take the lead back from the 7. That lap lead goes to the 10 car. Matt Smith takes the lead back going into turn 1. Back down to single file for the top 5 or 6 cars. Oh, deeper in the field, they're 3 and 4 wide, bouncing off each other just a little bit. Alex Tesdahl, Dustin Franklin, Trey Hollywood, they're all in the middle of this hornet's nest. They're trying to get it sorted. Top 6 or 7 cars starting to get a little bit of breathing room on the rest of the field, and we're going to have more company here in just a matter of minutes. Through 1 and 2. So many different lines being used, and they're all chasing. Matt Smith in the 10, Josh Colm-Diaz runs in 2nd, Lance Shark in 3rd, Brett Baker in 4th, Jordan Roughton rounding out the top 5, and then number 18, Toyota Supra, looking for his first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. In fact, folks, 3 drivers inside the top 5 looking for their first ever NASCAR MotorMaster Series win, 4 in the top 7. Through the grass went Jesse Carlson, the 20. He's going to save it, but he's going to lose a couple of positions. Now this is in 3. We've been seeing Matt Smith in the 10, the leader, use the outside line a lot in these corners, but he took the bottom line through 3 and 4 that time by. Top 4 cars beginning to separate themselves from the rest of the field. The draft proving to be a critical factor in who's going to win this one. Oh, and the 10 car finds the wall coming out of turn 2. So to the inside goes Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7, and we have a new race leader. Lance Shark had a run as well, put his nose down there. No contact was made, but that forced Matt in the 10 to not be able to run the line that he wanted to run through 3 and 4 that last time by. And Lance Shark is going to take 2nd. Josh the leader, Lance Shark to 2nd, Matt back to 3rd, Brett Baker sitting in 4th, Cameron Norton in the 1 has driven around Jordan Roughton to take the 5th position. He becomes the front car in that 2nd group, and see if he can work his way towards Brett Baker. Battles all over this racetrack. Again, folks, 23 drivers started this race, and we have not seen a caution yet for an on-track incident. Whoa, Lance Shark got really loose coming out of turn 2 there. Looked like he had help from the 10 car. Might have been pushing the back bumper, and around nearly went the 36 machine. Big save there for him, and that's going to allow Josh Colm-Diaz to open up about a 5 or 6 car length advantage over this battle for 2nd on back, and now the 2nd group of cars has caught the top 5. And this is good stuff. The top 11 are all nose to tail. And there's the returning Ayrton James. Got the award for the most NASCAR wins in the calendar year of 2020, and former NASCAR champion, and he's back here for more action in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series, driving that Napa Chevy Camaro there, the number 15 car. Making it look good, running at 11th, and he's in the lead pack there with Harold Burden and Gordon Dorsek just in front of him. 39 in the 74 machines. Yes, sir. To the bottom went Matt Smith in the 10, looking for the lead, and Josh was able to get through 1 and 2 really nicely. Got a little bit loose coming out of 2, though. Had to chase the car down almost below the yellow line on the back straightaway. Matt Smith going to tuck back in line. The top 2 have separated themselves a bit from the rest of the field. We saw an 11-car group battling for the lead there just a couple of laps ago, and that just goes to show how quickly everything can change in one of these NASCAR races. Matt Smith using the outside line, trying to get around Josh Colin-Diaz, and it looked like Josh got a little bit out of shape and slid up into the side of the 10 car. This is allowing Nick Donfrancesco to close back in. He's the driver running in third in that red number 6 Chevy Camaro. We have a new race leader. Matt Smith uses the inside line in turn 3. And he's going to clear Josh and lead this lap. Seen a lot of different lead changes and a couple of different leaders in this one. And nobody seems to be able to drive away from one another. Oh, and a serious problem there for your race leader. Matt Smith went way wide coming out of turn 4, and we don't see those kinds of mistakes out of him very often, but that was a big one,
Car in the
folks.
grass in the front.
He went up and hit the wall there, and you're right, we have a car going through the grass on the front straightaway. I believe that it was Ryan Schreck in the 19. We're going to stay green in this one. Yeah, I was touching on that. It looked like Matt in the 10 went way up the hill and hit the wall a whole lot harder than we usually see him do. And I wonder if that maybe knocked the toe out on the front of that number 10 Chevy Camaro. It appears he's still driving okay. And we have a new race leader, and it's Nick Donfrancesco in the 6 car. The first time he's led laps all race long. And around goes Alex Tesdall, the 16 car in turn 1. He's going to get it fired again and going. He's down on the apron and out of harm's way. No traffic coming behind him. We're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter. Alex, what happened there?
I got dumped.
Uh-oh. Who was contact made with?
20 car.
Man, that's not good. There's the 20. Jesse Carlson. Lime green and orange Toyota Supra. There you see him. He's inside the top 10. That's also where Alex Tesdall, the driver of the 16, was when the contact was made. And good news is we're working stage 2. There's a lot of laps left in this one. It's round 21. The NASCAR MotorMaster Series hosted here on NASCAR Heat 5. 2021 calendar season, and we're off to a great start here. We've seen so many different memorable, exciting finishes. Finishes separated by 9 1/1000ths of a second. Finishes where they're wrecking, coming across the start-finish line to take the checkered flag. Side-by-side finishes for the stage wins. We've seen a little bit of everything here in the 2021 season for the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. And you're right, update from one of our in-race reporters, Cameron Norton. We have a new race leader on the racetrack. It is the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion of Matt Smith. Nick Donfrancesco runs in second, and it's Landshark running in third. We have a big wreck on the back straightaway. Josh Colin-Diaz just barely was able to get around it, but many others were not. More cars slamming into the 08 Chevy there of Jason Doro, and the caution comes out. Looked like Harold Burden, Brett Baker, Trey Hollywood, a couple of others were involved, and that was enough cars to draw the caution here at Kentucky Speedway for the first time all race long for an on-track incident. 23-car field, and we went quite a ways without seeing a caution for a wreck on this on this track, and it's a tricky track, folks. Saying this before the broadcast began, a lot of character in these corners. You can run many different grooves here. There's some bumps in a few key parts of the racetrack. Very easy to get loose exiting turn 2. It's just a lot about this racetrack that makes it a challenge for these drivers, and when you add the extra challenge of having 23 drivers out there battling for this win, it just makes it that more risky every time you go through one of these turns. The green flag is back in the air, and we're working stage 2 here of the Horsepower 300 at Kentucky. Matt Smith leads him into turn 1. Nick Francesco right there with him. And it's Landshark in the 36 running in 3rd. Jordan Roughton in 4th. And Ayrton James up there running in the 5th position in that Napa car. Brett Baker in 6th, Jordan Dorsek in 7th, and Josh Colby is running in 8th, Trey Hollywood in 9th, Dustin Franklin rounds out the top 10, Jason Doro in 11th, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in 12th, and around goes Brett Baker. He found the apron right in front of a couple of other cars, and more contact was made.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I believe that we are under caution, and we are.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened right in front of a number of cars. Brett Baker found the apron, snapped loose on him, and a car deeper in the field made heavy contact. I believe that was Bradley Gilliland in the 90 machine. I'll have to see if we can check in on his car. Yeah, a ton of front-end damage to that car. I knew it was a black and white car, and that's a shame for not only Bradley, but for Brett Baker as well, because he was up there running in the top 10, and he's been there all race long. Well, these drivers, they don't have very many laps to go here in stage 2, and they were just on pit road, so I don't know how many are coming to pit road for service here, but yeah, we'll have to get an update from one of our in-race reporters with how many laps are remaining in stage 2, but for now, the green flag.
Stage 3 working now.
They were in the 3rd.
Oh, geez, okay. Final stage time for the Horsepower 300.
Another wreck in the mirror.
Yeah, we saw that. That was Jordan Roughton in the 18. He went up the hill and made contact with another car. We're going to stay green, I believe. Never mind.
No, we're under yellow.
Yes, we are. Caution number 3 on the racetrack. And these restarts these cautions are breeding more cautions. We went green for so long here at Kentucky Speedway, and these drivers are experiencing problems here on these restarts, and talked about it a lot before the broadcast began. Many different grooves you can run here at Kentucky, so I knew these restarts were going to be wild, and it's also the key time when these drivers can make up enough ground, or a lot of ground, get themselves in position to possibly win this race, but it can also be a time when positions can be lost. And we've seen a little bit of both for all these drivers. Right now, it's Nick Francesco leading the race with Ayrton Frederick running in 2nd, Cameron Norton in 3rd, Matt Smith in 4th, Alex Tesdall in 5th. And into the restart zone, the green flag is back in the air. It's the highest that Ayrton has been running in that Napa car all race long. And they're heading into turn 1. 2 by 2 for the most part still, and there's a couple of cars venturing all the way up towards the green wall and running the outside line. Nick's going to hold the lead. Cameron Norton's looking for 2nd. He's down on the inside line. He's going to clear Ayrton Frederick, and so is Matt Smith. But around goes the 36 of Landshark. He was up there in the top 10 when that happened. Spun through the grass, and we're going to keep our eye on the action. We're staying green. And again, Brett Baker finds the apron just in front of Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Jason Doro, Jason Armstrong, Harold Burden, and others. And this is going to draw the 4th caution of the race for an on-track incident.
I was just about to take the lead.
Man, this is getting interesting. That's the second time in this race Brett Baker has found the apron and caused a wreck here in the Horsepower 300. He's got a fast race car, and he keeps working his way back up inside the top 10, but every time he gets there, something goes amiss.
Cautions breed cautions.
Seems to be the story of this race, and these restarts have been wild. 2, 3, and 4 wide action. And I do believe that if we can get past the first 3 or 4 laps after one of these wild restarts, it'll be okay for the rest of this one. And we're going to have to get an update from one of our in-race reporters as to how many laps are remaining in this race.
I believe around 40.
A long ways to go.
41.
Here we go, folks. The green flag is back in the air. These drivers are getting about 26 to 29 laps on fuel. So we will see green flag pit stops if this entire final stage runs green from here. And here we go. They thunder down the back straightaway. There was a car that got loose coming out of turn 2. I do believe that it was Timmy Brown in the 9, and there's a big wreck deeper in the field.
Another yellow.
And yeah, I saw a little bit of that there. It looked like Timmy Brown in the 9 got a little bit out of shape coming out of turn 2, and it was in front of a group of cars, and nobody had anywhere to go. And yeah, caution number 5 here at Kentucky Speedway, and it's been it's interesting. We saw a long green flag run to start this race, and no cautions all race long, and now we've seen a rash of yellows. We've seen 5 for on-track incidents, and now under 40 laps to go in the final stage, back into the restart zone. The green flag is back in the air. Nick Francesco and Cameron Norton lead them into turn 1. Highest Cameron's been running all race long. Got Ayrton Frederick underneath him on the bottom. Alex Tesdall giving him a bit of a push. Matt Smith in 5th in the 10 car. Two and 3 wide going down the front stretch, and Lance Shark in the 36 dives underneath Jason Doro in the 08. That kicks Jordan Dorsek out to the outside wall. And all of this 2 and 3 wide action is allowing the race leader Nick Francesco to get a little bit of breathing room. And this is great stuff. Look at this action. 3 and 4 wide here through 3 and 4. And up the hill went Ayrton Frederick right in front of a big group of cars, and there's a mess in turn 1, and this is going to draw the 6th caution of the race.
Another just wow.
Yeah, that was interesting. Another car losing control, exiting one of these turns, and just nobody has anywhere to go. Everybody has a good car and a competitive car, so they're all right there behind whatever happens, and just nowhere for anyone to go. Caution number 6 here at Kentucky Speedway, round 21 of the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted here on NASCAR Heat 5, and it's Nick Francesco, your race leader. And what these short runs are doing is it's allowing for some strategy to maybe happen. And Jordan Dorsek has taken the race lead because of some pit strategy, and the green flag is back in the air. Here we go into turn 1. And this is the first restart in a couple of restarts where Nick Francesco needs to be on the outside line, and he's going to lose a couple of positions because of that. Matt Smith is going to go into second. Landshark in the 36 was trying to pounce for third. Couldn't quite do it. Had to slow down just a little bit. And they're all still working around this racetrack in one big pack here, 3 and 4 wide, deeper in the field. Through the grass went the 16. He saves it and gathers it back up. And they're all chasing Jordan Dorsek in the 74. Up the hill goes Brett Baker. He gets a little bit loose. That was in 1 and 2. He's going to let a number of cars go by, and he tried to let more go by, but he got tangled up there with Bradley Gilliland in the 90, and Bradley went for a spin. There he is, and that's a tough break. I'll tell you, nobody seems to have worse luck than that 90 car, and he's in a playoff spot coming into this race. Trying to hold on. Meanwhile, back up front, battle for the lead looks like this. 5 wins for Jordan Dorsek this season. Matt Smith, 3 wins in that 10 car. They run 1-2. The newcomer, Landshark, looking for his first win. Running in third. Destin Franklin in the 11 car runs in fourth, looking for his first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win as well. Running in fifth, Nick Don Francesco. He's got 5 wins this season in the Truck Series, looking for win number 1 for the MotorMaster Series in 2021. Jason Doro runs in 6th, just behind him, and that's Cameron Norton. Running in 7th, Trey Hollywood looking to the inside of him. Trey running in 8th. Josh Colm-Diaz in 9th. Alex Tesdall, there you see him in the 16, rounding out the top 10. And the top 2 beginning to spread out from the rest of the field a little bit. Doesn't look like Matt Smith is challenging Jordan Dorsek for the lead. It almost looks like they may be working together to get some distance between themselves and the rest of the field. And just as I say that, to the inside goes Matt Smith in the 10. On the front stretch there, forces Dorsek to go all the way up towards the outside wall. And he's going to clear him going into turn 1. But the 10 car back out front, and his teammate from Bruv Motorsports, Destin Franklin, just took the 3rd position away from Nick Don Francesco. And there you see that battle right there. There's good battles all over this racetrack, and Josh Colm-Diaz slowly working his way forward in the 7 car. Cameron Norton in the 1, his teammate trying to go with him. Alex Tesdall in the 16 gets into the side of Landshark, and this is going to open the door for a couple of cars behind them to now challenge for position. They all got stacked up pretty good there in 1 and 2. And I'll tell you, good battles all over this racetrack. We're watching the battle in and around the top 10 mark. And Jesse Carlson in the 20, just behind Trey Hollywood in the 8, and that's Alex Tesdall just in front of him in the 16. And these drivers are trying to work their way carefully into the top 10 and put themselves in a position to get the best possible finish they can here in the final stage. And all of these drivers have been up inside the top 5 or led laps at one point or another in this race. It's been a very evenly matched and competitive race at Kentucky Speedway, and we're in the time now where track position becomes critical if you want to win this race. Battle for the lead looks like this. It has not changed too much. Jordan Dorsek in the 74 trying to hold off Matt Smith in the 10. Destin Franklin still running in the 3rd position. This is what the battle for 3rd and 4th looks like here. The 11 car of Destin trying to keep Nick in the 6 car behind him. And it's Jason Doro in the 08 running in 5th, the black and silver machine. And just behind him, that gray and gray and red number 7 Chevy Camaro. Josh Colin-Diaz running in the 6th position. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. They're kind of in a group of their own. And then it is Land Shark in the 36 running in the 7th position. There, Frederick just behind him in the 8th position. Trey Hollywood in 9th. Alex Tesdall rounding out the top 10. Then there's another 5 cars behind Alex from 11th to 15th. Still have a shot to crack into the top 10 before the end of this one. 23 drivers started this race, and seen a number of different leaders, a number of different lead changes. We saw long green flag runs in stage 1 and stage 2, and seen a rash of cautions here in the final stage, and we might finally be settled in to a final long green flag run to put an end to the horsepower 300 here at Kentucky Speedway. Time will tell, but the field is pretty spread at this point, and they're looking pretty racy. Gonna throw it down to one of our in-race reporters. We'll go with Alex Tesdall to find out how many laps to go.
20 to go.
Yeah, perfect timing. 20 laps to go. And I'm going to throw it down to the in-race reporter, Cameron Norton, driver of the 1 car. Cameron, do you think we're going green to the end?
There's no telling, honestly. We're getting pretty racy back here, and we'll have to make a pit stop. It's what it's looking like, so strategies might be employed.
Couldn't agree more. It's going to be interesting to see when these drivers do decide to come down pit road. I think that everybody's going to run their fuel tanks dry, run these tires all the way down until they're bald, just simply because we've seen a lot of cautions, and they don't want to be on pit road when a caution comes out and get trapped 1 lap down. And you're right. Good battles all over the racetrack, and contact was made there between Cameron Norton and Alex Tesdall. And then just behind them, Timmy Brown in the 9 car got a little bit out of shape on the back straightaway as well. Everybody doing a good job holding on to their cars and trying to work through this final stage. And the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th for that matter, is really heating up here. Jason Doro in the 08 has worked his way up into 3rd, and this is what the battle for 4th and 5th looks like. Dustin Franklin in the 11 car is starting to fade just a little bit here as the tires get a little bit more worn. He might have been pushing hard to try to run down the top 2 as he was running up there in 3rd. Since then he's lost it to the 08 car, and now he's working the inside line trying to keep Josh Colin-Diaz in the 7 from advancing his position. And problems for Dustin Franklin. Problems for Trey Hollywood in the 8 car as well. A couple of other cars were involved. It's going to be interesting.
Got a yellow.
Ah, okay. And the caution comes out here at Kentucky Speedway. This changes everything because they can make it from here on fuel if they come down pit road. And I'm thinking that everybody is coming to pit road under this caution.
Stayed out. It's probably safe enough to make it with the tires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's throw it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall. Alex, what's your strategy from here? You got decent track position, but it's been a wild race, man. Anything can happen at this point. What's your goals, and what do you think's going to happen from here?
If you're not taking 4 tires here, you're not going to win.
Throwing it over to Cameron Norton in the 1. Cameron, what do you think's going to happen in these final 17 or 16 laps?
Going for it.
I was going to say, are you ever? And we've got a change up front. We have a new race leader. It's Cameron Norton in the 1. We are going green at Kentucky. The green flag is back in the air.
13 to go. I'm going for it.
And it might be the winning call, especially if we see a rash of cautions to end the race. And around goes Land Shark. This might draw a caution. There's a big crash in behind the field. And we have a caution on the racetrack. Jordan Dorosek took the lead before the yellow came out. Matt Smith is going to be in 2nd. I believe that the 1 of Cameron Norton's going to restart in 3rd. And it was a big incident there. It looked like Land Shark in the 36 found the apron, spun in front of a big group of cars, and a number of drivers were unable to avoid the incident. And I believe that one of them was one of our in-race reporters, Alex Tesdall. Some damage to the front end of that 16 Chevy Camaro. Alex, was there any chance of avoiding it?
No, 36 popped as I was right in front of me. No time to react.
Yeah, I believe you and about 4 or 5 others had absolutely no shot. And things stack up pretty quickly here, especially when a car does hit the apron like that. It's pretty easy to do, and these cars are not very forgiving when that left front gets down on the flat. Going to restart with, I believe, 9 or 10 laps to go here. They're in the restart zone. They're coming to the line. Green flag back in the air. Jordan Dorsek, Matt Smith lead them now into turn 1.
9 laps to go.
Oh, looked like... Yeah, that was Nick in the 6 car. He got out of shape and came back up onto the track and made minor contact with Dustin Franklin in the 11. So now it's Jordan, Matt, and Jason, your top 3. Josh Colm-Diaz running in 4th. Cameron Norton running in 5th, but he's on those older tires. Dustin Franklin using the inside lane to his advantage on the front stretch. He's now up into 4th. Heading into turn 1. Top 3 beginning to break away from the rest of the field a little bit. We know everybody can make it to the end of this race on the fuel and tires that they have. Deeper in the field, Ayrton Frederick in the 15 car found the outside wall. I believe that we're going to stay green. It looks like we are so far. The top 2 starting to put distance between themselves and the rest of the field.
That was not a good idea.
And someone got out of shape on the front straightaway. It was Alex Tesdall in the 16. He came up and made contact with Jesse Carlson. That stacked up a couple of cars there in turns 1 and 2. Jason Armstrong in the 12 had nowhere to go. That allowed Ayrton Frederick in the 15 to gain ground back on this pack of cars. Battle for some track position. And now around goes Alex Tesdall in the 16. That's in turns 3 and 4. Somehow, some way, everybody was able to get around that one. And so far, we're green. I believe we have 6 laps to go. Jordan Dorsek, the race leader. Matt Smith trying to change that. He's looking to the inside. Oh, there's still some distance there between them, so giving each other plenty of room. At the line, I believe it was Matt Smith that led that lap. 5 to go. Pardon me. Working their way down the back straightaway and into turn 3. Matt Smith was able to drive in a whole lot deeper there, but the Earnhardt crossover move by Jordan Dorsek, and he couldn't quite get there. Back to the inside of the 10 car, 4 to go. Now he's there, folks. He's to the inside of them. They're side by side coming out of 2, and it's going to come down to what lane is quicker.
Oh, we got a wreck on the back straightaway.
I was searching for it and I don't see it. We can tell you Bradley Gilliland's off the racetrack. I believe Jason Armstrong was one of the cars involved in the wreck on the back straightaway. We're still green, and I believe we have under 3 laps to go.
There you go.
And there's good battles all over this racetrack, but we're going to keep our eye on the battle for the lead and for the win between Matt Smith and Jordan Dorsek. Jason Doro in 3rd, Dustin Franklin in 4th, Josh Colm-Diaz is in 5th, and Josh is being challenged for 5th by Nick Don Francesco. 2 laps to go in the Horsepower 300. 3 wins this season for the 10. 5 wins this season for the 74. 3 wins this season for the 08, and they're the top 3 here in the last 2 laps at Kentucky Speedway. Their mile-and-a-half programs are stout here in the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season. Here they come out of 4. The white flag is in the air. Final time around here at Kentucky Speedway. Does Jordan have enough time? Does he have enough car? They're 3 wide for 4th, 5th, and 6th, but we're going to watch the battle for the win. We've seen so many close finishes here this season. We're going to see another. Jordan drives it in deep. Matt in the 10 car, he really drove it in deep to avoid any side-by-side action. And now coming out of 4 and to the line, it's not going to be enough for Jordan, and Matt Smith in the 10 wins the Horsepower 300 at Kentucky Speedway.
And there's a wreck coming out of 4, Jesse Carlson spun it.
Oh, and he did. He's coming to the line. He's going to lose a number of positions because of that. There was a wild 3 wide battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th as well. And I believe that Josh Colombiez in the 7 got the 4th spot. Wild race, wild finish. Saw a little bit of everything. Long green flag runs, a rash of cautions with some short runs. And we saw Matt Smith in the 10 parking in a victory lane for the 4th time this season. Came in as the points leader, further extends that points lead, and really looking for those 15 playoff points that the regular season champion gets. He's been on a roll lately. We will hear from your top 3 finishers in just a matter of moments. And here we go, folks, with the post-race interviews from the Horsepower 300 at Kentucky Speedway, and hosted here on NASCAR Heat 5. We saw a wild 23-car race, and joining me now, the driver finishing in 3rd, the '08 Chevy Camaro, coming off a big win earlier tonight at Gateway, parking it on a podium here at Kentucky Speedway. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, it was a wild race out there. Saw a little bit of everything. Long green flag run in stage 1 and 2, and then a rash of cautions late in the race, and all of those wild 2 and 3, 4 wide restarts there. How was your car coming into this race, and do you think that you finished where you rightfully deserved to finish?
Thanks, Ty. Yeah, I definitely didn't have the fastest car on the track tonight, but once again, I just took care of my tires, made passes when I could, tried to keep it clean, and put myself in a position at the end of the race.
Whether we were about to go for a short run or a long green flag run, it seemed like track position was key, and some drivers were able to put a healthy gap in between themselves and a big group of cars behind them if they had that type of track position. What sort of things were you able to do to ensure that you had good track position for this race, for most of it?
I made sure I had a tighter car than I usually run with, knowing that I was going to get loose later in the run. I tried to go attack the race that way, the entire race. Just let the guys get loose in front of me and make the passes what I could. Just didn't have enough to run Flash and Jay well down there at the end. Congrats to Flash. I stole the last one for you, but you're in this one.
Congratulations on a 3rd place finish.
Thanks, Ty.
And do we have Jordan Dorsek in the lobby? I don't believe we do.
No, sir.
And moving forward to victory lane, we have the driver of the 10, Chevy Camaro, a familiar face to see in victory lane here for these NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Matt Smith wins the Horsepower 300 here at Kentucky, celebrating here with his team, and it's your 4th win of the season. Came in as the points leader, going to walk out the points leader, and you're getting closer and closer to becoming the regular season champion. It's just overall, it's been a great season for you so far in these first 21 races. How were you able to get the job done here at Kentucky tonight?
We were able to put it on the pole, and I rarely get the pole, so usually if I can put up a good lap, I know I have a good shot to at least try to stay at the front the whole time, and really just pick the right slider. The nose cut through the corners extremely well, and I really like tracks like Kentucky and Texas and some of these 1.5 miles on presets. You really have to drive them, and you can't manipulate them, with bumps and rebounds and track bars. So it was a really fun race. Kentucky's really fun to drive, especially on old tires, and just a great finish, another great battle with JWoww, and he raced me clean. I was expecting a bump or something on the final lap, and I'm hoping that he remembered our Charlotte finish. So props to him, and got a little messy there in the 3rd stage, but overall it was a good race.
What was going through your mind when we started seeing those that rash of cautions there in the final stage? Was your car more of a short run car, or was it coming to life in the long runs? What did you want to happen there?
I'm always a long run type of guy. I like getting in my rhythm, and usually once the field spreads out, you don't have to worry about guys behind you using your draft or whatever. So I made the adjustments to make it a long run car, or at least help the tire wear, but I went down a little bit on the wedge, and I was ready to go. JWoww was a little bit faster those first 3 or 4 laps, but the car quickly came to me, and I think the last 3 or 4 I was able to put a lot of pressure on him and able to hold him off.
The 4th annual NASCAR Daytona 500 is this Friday. What are you doing to prepare for that race, and what do you think your chances heading into that event?
We'll try to stay out front as long as we can, and we were running great in the MotorMaster Daytona race, and just had a slight incident from behind, getting hit from behind coming on pit road, kind of ended the race there. So just trying to be aware of my surroundings, and it's going to be very difficult to get track position, so if you don't start up front, passing is going to be very difficult. So maybe some pit strategy, just trying to find the right partners to draft with. And I still remember my race there last year, and I gave it up on the last lap. So if I'm in that position again, I'm definitely not going to let it go this time.
Well, we've seen you excel and perform at your very best on those big, bright stages. So, yeah, we look to see good things from you in the future, especially in the Daytona 500 this Friday. But congratulations also on your big win here tonight in the Horsepower 300 at Kentucky.
All right, thank you so much. Congrats to Mucka again for the Gateway win, and everyone else with solid finishes, and we'll carry on next week.
It was a phenomenal night of racing. Another doubleheader here from MotorMaster Monday, and these Xfinity cars on the preset sliders, and we are now 21 races into the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season. Seen a lot of different drivers excel and put themselves in a position to win, but we really have only seen about 7 or 8 different winners here this season. It's the cream of the crop so far, it seems, that seem to find victory lane. Drivers like Matt Smith, Jordan Dorsek, Jason Doro, Alex Tesdall, and others have all found victory lane, as well as Jesse Carlson. And these drivers are all locked into the playoffs, and then they have drivers like Jason Armstrong, Cameron Norton, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., Jordan Roughton, Bradley Gilliland, and others trying to scratch and claw their way into a top 12 spot into the standings and make the playoffs. And we only have 8 races remaining until the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series playoffs begin. So mark it on your calendars, folks. It's coming, and these drivers are getting hungry. Once again, congratulations to Matt Smith and the 10 and Bruv Motorsports. We hope everybody enjoyed Motormaster Monday and both broadcasts. And from all of us here at NASCAR, we're saying so long. Enjoy tomorrow night's real-life NASCAR Busch Clash event. We are off for Tailgate Tuesday here for NASCAR, and we'll see you this Friday for the 4th annual Daytona 500 for the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series. Good night, everybody.